Welcome to Conversations with My Real Friends. I'm Jennifer. I'm here with my friend Christy Rueckert. Christy is a real estate agent at Pinnacle Estate Properties, and we're going to talk about title, right? So in California, when we open a real estate transaction, right, you have an offer, you're going to sell a property, we're in escrow, you're going to get a title report, and it's going to tell us information about things on title that often need to be resolved before we can close escrow. And sometimes there are things on there that we didn't know about, maybe even the seller didn't know about, that could be an impediment to closing the transaction. So I'm assuming you've had title issues cause hiccups in transactions. Do you have some experience with dealing with that?
Yes. So in the beginning of when I get a listing, I actually pull the prelim right away.
Perfect.
So that I can discover these things early. Mm-hmm. When you have on the buyer side, that you don't see it until you get into escrow.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of problems can arise. I would say the biggest deal I had was there was a second that they said they paid off.
Oh.
And it was still
showing,
and they didn't have the documentation to
prove it.
Mm-hmm. And so that was a lot of digging, and actually the escrow officer was wonderful, but it took some work to get down to it. So number one is contacting the title company and saying, okay, this is a discrepancy, this shouldn't be on there, and then obviously now going through the steps to try to resolve it.
Right. Well, because the title company, when they issue that preliminary report, what they provide is a list of things they're not going to insure. Right. And your buyer wants insurance for most of that stuff.
Right.
So how do we synthesize that, right? How do we get to where that lien, in this case, is not impeding the buyer's interests and their new lender's interests in the property, right? I think you know this too. I mean, we went through the time when people were being foreclosed on and there were short sales and we were working through deals, and a lot of lines of credit didn't get closed out. Right? WAMU was famous for leaving lines of credit open, and then people would run them back up even though they didn't even own the house anymore, right? It was a real problem. Mess. Yes.
Big mess.
And so, these are absolutely things. The other thing that comes up is they run the people's names, right? The owner's names, and often something comes up and it may or may not be our owner, right?
Right.
Especially if they have a common name.
I've had that happen before too.
Right?
Yeah. And they're like, that's not mine, or.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're only going by a name.
Right.
And so then we got to be able to convince the title company that that thing isn't our person, or if it is our person, then they didn't realize maybe there's a child support lien or I've seen IRS liens that people didn't know were affecting their property. Now we got to deal with it because we've got to get our buyer clear title. So contacting the IRS, good luck.
I know, right?
Getting the things we need and managing it, huge part of making sure we can get our deal done right and on time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
So if you out there are looking to have some help on getting your home sold and hopefully without any title issues, how can they reach you?
I have a website at christyshouses.com, and my email is christy@christyshouses.com, and then my phone number is 805-377-4746.
Great. Well, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us for this episode of Conversations with My Real Friends. We'll see you on an episode soon.